Imagine walking through the streets of New York or London and noticing something that should not exist. Look closely at the ground floor of those massive Gothic structures. You will see windows half buried in the dirt, arches that lead into solid earth, and doors that have been turned into windows because the original entrance is now 10 feet underground. Why is the first floor of our history missing? Modern architects call them light wells. They tell us it was a design choice to let sunlight into the basement. But does that really make sense? Why would builders in the 1800s go through the impossible effort of digging deep into the bedrock just to bury beautiful hand-carved stone masterpieces? The truth is much more terrifying. We are living on top of a buried world. A global event occurred just a few centuries ago that was so destructive it literally reshaped the face of our planet. And yet it has been completely erased from every textbook you have ever read. This is the mystery of the mud flood. If you look at photographs from the mid-1800s, you notice a stunning pattern. From Russia to America, from Brazil to Australia, the architecture is identical. These massive star forts and cathedrals were not built by horse and buggy pioneers. They were inherited. But something happened, a global reset. Evidence suggests that a massive wave of liquefied earth swept across the continents. It wasn't water, it was mud. It moved with such silent force that it filled the lower levels of every city on Earth. Look at the old maps. Where are the mountains that we see today? Why do records from the 1700s show vibrant cities in places that are now deserts? The mainstream narrative says these buildings were constructed during the Industrial Revolution. But look at the empty streets in the earliest photos. There are no construction sites. There are no cranes. There are no workers. There is only silence. It looks like a repopulation effort. Thousands of orphan children were shipped across the world on trains to fill these empty cities. They were told they were pioneers. They were told their ancestors built these impossible structures with hammers and chisels. But how could a pre-industrial society move stones weighing hundreds of tons with such surgical precision? They could not. These buildings were power plants. The copper domes and golden spires were not for decoration. They were antennas designed to pull etheric energy from the atmosphere, a wireless world that provided free energy to everyone. The mud flood was the perfect cover-up. By burying the power grids under several feet of earth, the new rulers of our world could control the population. They dug out the tops of the buildings, called them new constructions, and began charging us for the very energy that used to be free. Have you ever wondered why ancient cities have such advanced sewer systems that we still use today? It is because they were recovered, not invented. The geometry is too perfect. The scale is too grand. We are squatters living in the ruins of a giant civilization. Think about the census records. Why do they reset in the mid-1800s? Why are there gaps in your own genealogy that you cannot explain? It is because the past was manufactured to give us a false identity. We were told we were evolving, but the archaeology suggests we are actually devolving. If the mud flood was just a natural disaster, why is it forbidden to talk about it in universities? Why do they demolish these beautiful old buildings the moment people start asking questions? They are destroying the evidence. Every time a mall or a parking lot is built over an old theater, a piece of our true history is lost forever. They want us to believe we are the first to reach this level of technology, but the half-buried windows in your own hometown tell a different story. They tell a story of a lost empire, a world where energy was abundant and beauty was mandatory, a world that was buried while the people were asleep. The truth is right beneath your feet. All you have to do is look down. Stop believing the lies in the textbooks. Start looking at the stone. Start looking at the streets. The Great Reset has happened before, and if we don't wake up to the truth of our stolen past, it might just happen again. We are the children of the dust, trying to rebuild a world we don't even remember. But the buildings remember. The silent giants of our cities are waiting for us to rediscover the secret they are hiding in the dirt. Next time you see a window at ground level, ask yourself what else is hidden down there, and who erased the memory of the global event that buried our world. The truth is buried, but it is not gone. Stay curious, keep searching, and never forget that history is written by the winners, but the earth never lies.